For as long as people have lied, others have sought ways to uncover the truth. From ancient ordeals to modern technology, the quest for lie detection has fascinated, terrified, and shaped human society. Among all the methods devised, none has captured the public imagination quite like the polygraph test, the so-called lie detector. With its wires, sensors, and rolls of chart paper, the polygraph has become a symbol of justice in crime dramas and spy thrillers, a supposed scientific oracle capable of revealing guilt or innocence. But how much truth does it really uncover? This book explores the science, psychology, and controversy behind polygraph testing. Far from being a flawless instrument of justice, the polygraph is better understood as a stress detector than a lie detector. It measures physiological changes, heart rate, breathing patterns, and skin conductance that may be linked to deception but are not exclusive to it. Nervousness, fear, anger, or even the pressure of being under suspicion can all produce the same readings as a lie. This ambiguity is at the core of the ongoing debate about whether polygraphs are reliable science or clever theater. Inside, you'll discover 10 essential facts that cut through the myths and present the polygraph for what it is and what it is not. You'll learn why questioning techniques matter more than the machine itself, why there is no universal lying response, and how skilled individuals can sometimes use countermeasures to manipulate results. The book also explores the examiner's outsized role in shaping outcomes, showing how human judgment and bias can influence results as much as physiology. The legal system's unease with polygraph evidence is another central theme. In most courts, polygraph results are inadmissible because of doubts about their reliability, although they sometimes appear in employment screening, national security vetting, and law enforcement investigations. This raises difficult questions. Should a tool with such questionable accuracy be allowed to decide careers, reputations, or even freedom? Or is it better seen as a psychological lever, useful in interrogations for eliciting confessions, but dangerous if taken for scientific certainty? The book doesn't stop with criticism. It introduces more scientifically grounded alternatives, such as guilty knowledge test, which measures recognition of specific details only a guilty person would know. It also looks ahead to the future of lie detection in neuroscience and brain imaging, where researchers hope to bypass physiology altogether and probe the mind directly. These innovations are promising, but they raise ethical questions about privacy, free will, and the boundaries of science in human affairs. Ultimately, the science of lie detection is not about dismissing polygraphs outright, nor about glorifying them as foolproof instruments. Instead, it is about understanding their strengths, their limits, and their cultural significance. The polygraph is as much about psychology, persuasion, and belief as it is about wires and charts. For investigators, it can be a tool. For suspects, it can be an ordeal. For society, it is a mirror reflecting both our desire for certainty and the uncomfortable truth that certainty is often elusive. Whether you are intrigued by crime investigation, fascinated by psychology, or simply curious about how societies try to separate truth from lies, this book will give you the knowledge to see polygraphs in their true light. The facts within will help you navigate the blurred line between science and pseudoscience, revealing why the polygraph endures in popular imagination even as its scientific foundations remain contested. Lies are as old as humanity, and the longing to expose them is older still. The polygraph is only one chapter in that timeless story, but it is a chapter worth understanding in full. The Science of Lie Detection. 10 Facts About Polygraph Tests and Their Limits. Written by Alsden Keir. Narrated by Lane Frank. Introduction. The Science of Lie Detection. 10 Facts About Polygraph Tests and Their Limits. The quest to separate truth from deception is as old as humanity itself. In our complex social world, knowing who to trust is not simply a matter of curiosity or gossip, it is a fundamental survival skill. From the earliest tribal exchanges to the globalized interactions of the modern era, truth-telling and trustworthiness have formed the glue of human society. Deception, on the other hand, has always been a disruptive force, capable of unraveling relationships, destabilizing communities, and, in extreme cases, reshaping the course of history. It is no wonder, then, that for centuries humans have searched for a reliable way to pierce the veils of lies and discern what is real. This relentless pursuit has taken many forms across different cultures and ages. Ancient societies devised rituals and ordeals designed to coax out dishonesty. In some traditions, accused individuals were made to swallow dry rice, with the assumption that guilt-induced anxiety would stop saliva production and leave their mouths dry, making it difficult to swallow. Others relied on trial by ordeal, such as plunging a hand into boiling water or walking across hot coals, under the belief that divine forces would protect the innocent while punishing the guilty. These methods, while fascinating in their cultural and historical context, were never truly about measuring deception in a scientific sense. Instead, they often reflected broader beliefs about morality, justice, and divine intervention. As human civilization advanced, so too did the desire for more systematic and objective tools of lie detection. The modern era, with its obsession with measurement, data, and technology, brought with it the invention of the polygraph machine. This device quickly became synonymous with the very idea of the lie detector. For much of the 20th century, the polygraph occupied a unique place in both the public imagination and the legal psychological landscape. The sight of wires, tubes, and pens scratching on a moving roll of paper became a visual shorthand for truth-seeking. Whether in police interrogations, espionage thrillers, or courtroom dramas, the polygraph was presented as the ultimate arbiter of honesty. But reality is rarely as clean as fiction would have us believe. For all its cultural prominence and aura of scientific authority, the polygraph is not the infallible oracle it is often portrayed to be. Instead, it exists in a liminal space between science and pseudoscience, objectivity and interpretation. It is a tool that measures physiological responses such as heart rate, breathing, and skin conductance, but relies on human examiners to interpret those responses as indicators of truth or deception. In other words, it does not directly detect lies. It only measures stress, arousal, or anxiety, all of which can accompany lying, but which can also appear in completely innocent circumstances. To understand the place of the polygraph in our world today, we must first understand what it is and what it is not. We must look at its origins, how it functions, the psychology behind its use, and most importantly, its limitations. Doing so will allow us to separate myth from reality and help us approach this cultural symbol with nuance rather than blind faith. The ancient desire for certainty. The need for truth verification is deeply rooted in human psychology. Deception is a natural behavior. It appears in children as young as 2 or 3 years old, and in almost every species that relies on social interaction. From camouflage in animals to white lies in humans, deception serves as both a defense mechanism and a tool of manipulation.